Franco Harris died in 2022. The man who made the Immaculate Reception, one of the most famous plays in NFL history, yet found ways to damage his own legend. A contract dispute cost him a record. A loyalty that went too far cost him endorsements. This is how a Pittsburgh hero complicated his own story. Before 1972, the Pittsburgh Steelers were losers. For 40 years, they had won just one playoff game. That was in 1947, and they lost 21-0. The Steel City was struggling too. The economy was changing. People needed something to believe in. Then came Franco Harris, a rookie running back who would change everything with one play. December 23, 1972, AFC Divisional Playoff. Steelers versus Raiders. 4th down, 10 yards to go, 22 seconds left. Pittsburgh trailing 7-6. Terry Bradshaw dropped back. He threw toward John Fuqua. Raiders safety Jack Tatum came flying in. The collision was massive. The ball bounced backward toward the line of scrimmage. Most players would have given up. Franco Harris kept running. Harris caught that ball within millimeters of the ground. He raced 60 yards down the sideline. Touchdown, game over. The Immaculate Reception was born. But was it legal? That question still haunts the NFL today. Back then, 2 offensive players could not touch a forward pass in a row. If the ball hit Fuqua first, then Harris, it was illegal. If it hit Tatum, the defender, then Harris could catch it. Raiders fans swear the ball only hit Fuqua. They call it the Immaculate Deception. They say everyone was fooled. Even Jack Tatum later said he could not honestly say if the ball hit him. Phil Villapiano, the Raiders linebacker covering Harris, still insists it was illegal. The officials huddled for 15 minutes. They even called the press box. Finally, referee Fred Swearingen signaled touchdown. The crowd exploded. Pittsburgh had its first playoff win ever, but Swearingen paid a price. He got no playoff assignments for 2 years because of the controversy. The play did more than win a game. It launched a dynasty. The Steelers would win 4 Super Bowls in 6 years. It started a bitter rivalry with Oakland that lasted the entire decade. The teams met in the playoffs for 4 straight seasons. Pittsburgh won 2 AFC championships against the Raiders. The play even changed the NFL rulebook. In 1978, the league scrapped the double touch rule. Today, the Immaculate Reception would be legal without question. But the controversy lives on. NFL Films calls it the greatest and most controversial play ever. For Pittsburgh, it was salvation. A steel town in decline found pride in a winning team. Harris became a hero. The play gave a struggling city something to celebrate. It was more than football, it was hope. Harris built on that moment. He made 9 straight Pro Bowls from 1972 to 1980. He was named All-Pro in 1977. In Super Bowl IX, he rushed for 158 yards and a touchdown on 34 carries. The Steelers beat Minnesota 16-6. Harris became the first African-American and Italian-American Super Bowl MVP. He helped win all 4 of Pittsburgh's Super Bowls in the 1970s. His Super Bowl career records of 354 rushing yards and 101 carries stood for years. He rushed for over 1,000 yards 8 times. That broke a record held by Jim Brown. When Harris retired in 1984, his numbers were incredible. He had 12,120 career rushing yards, 3rd all-time. His 91 rushing touchdowns ranked 3rd too. Only Walter Payton and Jim Brown were ahead of him in yards. Only Brown and John Riggins had more rushing touchdowns. Harris was consistent. He was reliable. He was the backbone of a championship team. But 1984 would end differently than anyone expected. Harris was chasing history. He needed just 192 yards to break Jim Brown's all-time rushing record. The Steelers wanted to help. Owner Art Rooney understood what this meant for the city. The offensive line was ready to do everything possible to get Harris the record. The team offered Harris the same salary he made in 1983. They thought it was fair. They knew Harris had multiple knee surgeries. His body was breaking down, but they wanted their legend to get his record at home in Pittsburgh. Harris's agent had different ideas. He demanded a significant raise with a guarantee. The Steelers agreed. Then the agent wanted a second guaranteed year with even more money. When Pittsburgh hesitated, the agent threatened to go to the media. This was too much for the old-school Steelers. They felt disrespected. The negotiations turned into what one observer called a meltdown. After 32 days, Pittsburgh waived Franco Harris. Their greatest running back was gone. Harris signed with the Seattle Seahawks. The contract was modest and not guaranteed. His body could not handle it. He played only 8 games. He rushed for just 170 yards. The man who averaged over 1,000 yards for 8 seasons managed only 21 yards per game. Walter Payton of the Chicago Bears broke Jim Brown's record that same season. Harris never got his chance. The chase that should have been a celebration became a nightmare. In 1985, Harris admitted his mistake. He told reporters he would do things differently if he could. He was not naive enough to say he was right about everything. After 12 good years in Pittsburgh, he hated how it ended. The regret was real. This was not about money. Harris valued his relationship with the team and the city. The contract dispute cost him more than a record. It cost him the chance to finish his career with dignity. But Harris would show that same loyalty again. This time, it would cost him even more. Harris played college football at Penn State under Joe Paterno. The coach taught him to always go to the ball. That advice helped Harris make the Immaculate Reception. The debt of gratitude ran deep. In November 2011, Penn State fired Paterno during the Jerry Sandusky child sex abuse scandal. Harris was furious. He blasted the Penn State Board of Trustees. He called their decision bad. He said they showed no courage when Paterno needed support. Harris made a clear distinction. He was defending Joe Paterno, not Jerry Sandusky. He argued Paterno did his part by reporting what he knew to his superiors. Harris believed it became a university matter, not a football matter. He thought 95% of people would follow the same protocol. The public disagreed. Harris faced harsh criticism. The Meadows Racetrack and Casino ended his endorsement deal. He was mocked in blogs and attacked in newspaper columns. The backlash was intense, but Harris did not back down. Unlike the Steelers' contract dispute, he never regretted this stance. He continued giving presentations. He demanded due process for Paterno. He joined Penn Staters for responsible stewardship to fight the Board of Trustees. Harris saw this as a matter of principle. He was willing to pay the professional and personal costs. His loyalty to Paterno was stronger than his concern for public opinion or business relationships. The same conviction that made Harris great also led to his biggest mistakes. His loyalty to teammates helped build a dynasty. His loyalty to his agent cost him a record. His loyalty to Paterno cost him endorsements. Harris was stubborn. Sometimes that stubbornness served him well. He kept running when the ball bounced off Tatum and Fuqua. He kept pushing through tackles for 12 NFL seasons. But stubbornness can be a weakness too. The contract dispute showed Harris at his worst. Pride and poor advice led to a lose-lose situation. The Paterno controversy showed Harris at his most principled. He chose conviction over convenience. These 3 moments defined Franco Harris. The miraculous play that made him famous, the failed negotiation that he regretted, the controversial stance that he never apologized for. Harris found success beyond football. He used his hotel and restaurant management degree from Penn State to start Franco's All Natural. Then he founded Super Bakery in 1990. The company provided healthy nutrition to school children across America. Harris also saved the Park Sausage Company. It was the first publicly held Black-owned business in the United States. He co-founded Eco Product Group, which used nano-silver particles in antibacterial products. The community knew him as Mr. Pittsburgh. He served as chairman of the Pittsburgh Promise, giving scholarships to local students. He supported Special Olympics Pennsylvania for years. He received their first Community Hero Award. Harris proved his worth off the field. He was a businessman, a leader, and a philanthropist. But those 3 defining moments never left him. Franco Harris died on December 20th, 2022. 3 days later would have marked the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. The timing felt symbolic. His life had come full circle. Franco Harris was a champion, a businessman, a community leader, and a man whose unwavering loyalty sometimes came at a cost. His life was more than one play, but that play and the man behind it will never be forgotten. The Immaculate Reception launched a dynasty and gave Pittsburgh hope. The contract dispute cost Harris a record and taught him about regret. The Paterno controversy showed his principles had a price. In the end, Franco Harris was human. He made the miraculous catch that changed everything. He made mistakes that haunted him. He stood by his beliefs when others would not. That is not destroying a life. That is living one fully, with all its complications and contradictions. If you want to hear more stories about sports legends and the choices that define them, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell.